Hello, and thank you for joining us for this case study session on reimagining security at Georgian international airports. My name is Holly, and I'm the editor of International Airport Review. And I'm joined here by George Chikidze, who is director of G-Trust, and Pavel Zorin, who is regional sales director for Russia and CIS for Avigilon at Motorola Solutions. George and Pavel will be answering your questions at the end of their presentation. So if you do have any questions, make sure you submit them via the live discussion box in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And we'll do our best to get through as many of them as we can at the end. But for now, Pavel, I'll hand over to you to start the session.
Thank you, Holly. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure presenting a Avigilon approach to modern airports today to you. Just a few words about me. So as Holly mentioned, my name is Pavel Zorin. I am regional director for Eastern Europe and Central Asia for Motorola. I and my team are focused mainly on medium and large size projects in transportation, critical infrastructure, and safe city verticals. And I have over 10 years of experience in security business and almost 10 more years of experience in IT and telecom. Next slide, please. So as a regional director, I travel slightly above an average person. I would say I make approximately 40-50 flight segments per year. And as any other passenger, I have certain expectations and preferences when it comes to my flights. And there are airports I absolutely love and airports I do my best to avoid. And looking at the airports, I would say my top 3 priorities would be safety and security, especially in our COVID times. You know, I want to know, do people wear masks? Is this tracked? Does airport pay attention to tracking passenger temperature? Is airports covered with enough bag scanners and cameras and all kind of safety and security tools that I see? Maybe I don't understand what they do, but they just give me this certain feeling of comfort and assurance that I'm in a safe zone and everything is safe and secure. Number 2, efficient operations. You know, how fast can I get from the moment I enter the airport to the moment I get to the gate? And how fast can I get my bags back when I land at the airport? And you know, would these bags be in one piece? Would they stay safe? And when I open them, would I still have everything I put there before my flight? Reliable logistics. You know, should I expect any flight delays if I use a certain airport, and etc. and etc. So these are the type of things that we are expecting, and I am expecting when I travel. And I think this is what would be most of your passengers as well. Next slide, please. So at Avigilon, we do believe that every project is unique. You know, no matter how many airports I or George did, we treat every airport, every case as a unique. However, we do see certain similarities. And today we want to focus our attention on a few of these common challenges from the video security perspective. So one of the big challenge that I see when talking to our partners in my region would be wide open areas, whether it's indoors the airport or it's outside on the airfield. Huge open areas, far distances. You know, there's a huge distance nowadays in most large airports from the place where we install camera to actual recording scene. How do we address this? How do we still cover enough of the scene with one camera, while still remaining enough details in the scene when I want to do a digital zoom, let's say. Then another challenge is mass gatherings of people. It's common for the airports to have crowds, and these crowds are moving. It's even maybe more challenging than some other mass gatherings like a concert or some sport events, because in here it's common for people to move. And again, this is very different from other type of environments, and this has to be addressed. So in these circumstances, we still have to recognize an event and evaluate situation within seconds. Then we need to involve relevant work groups and respond to the problem before it escalates. So how do we do this? Next slide, please. When I started at Avigilon 10 years ago, I have to say that my main approach, and probably just for the company as a whole, would be 2 points. We would say incredibly fast searches, which Avigilon, since day one, as of today, is absolutely the best on the market. And second approach would be high resolution video up to 29 megapixel. And that was 10 years ago. As a matter of fact, I would suggest that if you have time later today, that you would go to YouTube and just type in 2 words, Avigilon airports. And the first search result, you will see, click on it. It's a video recorded from May 2008. It's a 16 megapixel camera in 2008, making incredible things even by today's standards. Zooming in through the whole launch and showing you the details you would usually dream to have. But Avigilon was never a camera company. We are a software company that also manufactures hardware, including cameras. So today we also have, we have an ability to unify voice, data, video, access control, and analytics in one connected platform. And this is what makes us so different from anything else you would see on the market. So I would say first thing we need to do is detect an event. Basically 2 scenarios, I would say. Scenario number 1, event occurs and we are notified by a passenger or a security personnel by a radio station. We're on a search, which takes us seconds, and detects the event. Or scenario number 2, there is an analytics or other platform like access control or maybe something else that does notify us on the event. Step number 2, analyze. We do have a unique tool which is called appearance search, which does include also various subsections with identity search, unusual motion detections, etc. But basically, it helps us within the seconds to assess risks, identify people of interest, track where these people are now, track where these people have been before, and if they have interacted with anyone of an interest to us. Step 3, communicate. We want to inform our security personnel of the issue, give them as much details as possible automatically by sending messages from control center to radio stations, or manually through the operator, updating with what's going on live. Right now it's a SIM, as well as receiving a live audio and video feeds from the personnel on the ground, from their body-worn cameras, having live understanding of the situation at the site. And all of this helps us to be able to respond timely and, more important, prepared. That's what we want to deliver to our partners when we are working on a project for them. And with this, I would love to introduce you to our main speaker. I think maybe Holly, if you would want to take over. Or maybe I do. Let's switch to the next slide, please. So let me introduce George Cheese, our partner in Georgia, with whom we did a number of the airports in the region, but he's gonna give you a quick overview and insight of his project. George, to you.
Thank you, Pavel. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Really pleasure to be here and speak about Avigilon, my company, and the projects we have done and are doing together for a long time period already. A few words about myself. As a former business development director of security systems division in NGT Group and representing G-Trust LLC nowadays, I have over 10 years of professional experience in homeland security industry already, mainly working on strategic and governmental critical infrastructure fields. My team has implemented an impressive number of projects based on Avigilon technologies, such as license plate recognition and face recognition project nationwide, thermal video surveillance and advanced protection systems as a part of national project of state border security, and a number of very interesting but unfortunately undisclosable projects classified as state secret. So among of that project, during the last 5 years, we have also implemented the video surveillance system projects in all 3 international and 2 small but very nice domestic airports in Georgia, and how all these started. Our first and therefore the most important one was Tbilisi International Airport in 2017. For that time, building up a new terminal and operating a vision video surveillance system in the old one, and customer was actually open to evaluate and discuss all the offers from number of key companies working on Georgian market. So they have given the choice to make to research and make offers, different offers from different companies, and we had a hard choice to make. It was go with a cheaper solution like many other our competitors, or study the customer issues and find the corresponding solution at a reasonable cost actually. And telling the truth, we have taken a risk and went with the second option that at the end of the day actually gave us an advantage over our competitors. We realized that Avigilon was the best fit to our and customer needs and made a design and the trial on Avigilon solution. According to our researches, the most important issues besides the basic needs such as, let's say, the high image quality and the system stability as a whole were fast evidence search, and of course, low maintenance cost and total cost of ownership over, let's say, 5 years. Next slide, please. As the answers on these customer needs, we considered some of the following features that Avigilon offers, and these are, as Pavel said already, of course, Avigilon appearance search, and also the thumbnail search, by the way, for fast searches of persons, cars, or the items of interest, let's say. Actually, operating the old video surveillance system by Hikvision, airport security and criminal police officers had to go from one camera to another to determine the whole route of the needed persons, from airplane to the car, some parking, or vice versa, let's say, from parking to the airplane. That could take more than 1 or even 2 hours for all involved cameras and cause the loss of the right trail of that person, let's say. Using a Avigilon appearance search engine, this task is now doable in a few minutes, actually. And very important to mention also is the ability to have the free new analytics time by time by updates, and it doesn't cost anything to customer if it's software version they have, and it comes with updates, actually software updates. Let's say the COVID application for free was very nice and positive surprise for our customer when they needed it. Telling about the system components we have installed in Tbilisi International Airport, it was 125 fixed and 10 PTZ cameras, including that very nice looking in-ceiling PTZ cameras. 3 units of NVRs, ACC 6 for that time Enterprise Edition licenses, and with the failover configurations, it means that in case of loss of one of the servers or even 2 of them, all the job is done by the rest one, and not losing recordings, you're not losing the evidences actually, and it is all done by failover configuration that Avigilon offers. And we have also installed, of course, a number of operator and video wall workstations with virtual matrix software running on it, and we've got a very nice looking video wall there with some number of non-disclosable number of monitors there. And that was the reason that we in 2021, I mean this year, we've got 2 more international airport projects. Completely renewed Kutaisi and Batumi international airports have been equipped by us with the Avigilon video surveillance system, powered by already the new H5 generation of video analytics. Actually, end user has more ideas now for what they want to go and do. And this is monitoring of airplane parking areas, runways, using video analytics to online video analytics, let's say, to detect or then quick post-search people and the cars approaching the parked airplanes, as well as obstacles for the taking off or landing planes, let's say. Very actual right now, ongoing negotiations with the customer is the integration the Motorola body-worn camera system to the ACC, I mean Avigilon video surveillance system, and the emergency have the emergency live streams or alarms from security police to monitoring room. That's very important for the customer. So And we are thinking about even more integrations, let's say, with the Motorola radio stations and so on. So it means that systems that we have installed once gives us the possibility to have more and more types of video analytics and possible integrations, and the customer is totally happy with that actually.
Next slide, please, Holly. Yeah, so we covered this bit a little bit, and then next slide.
Great, thank you so much for that, George. I mean, it's a very advanced solution, so it would be great to sort of delve a bit deeper with a couple of questions that I have for you guys. So, George, perhaps I'll start with you. What are the key benefits of AI video analytics at the Georgian airports that you've been describing?
Okay, as Pavel and me already said, that was a pure search engine, actually. Yeah. Besides the basic advantages that analytics gives, I mean, detecting and identifying between motion, just the motion, and the motion of persons and the cars. But nowadays it is not very unique analytics. Yeah? The matter is, how do you use this kind of analytics in the operation? And the answer from Avigilon was a pure search, actually. I may say that life is not as actual for airports. Of course, it is very actual, but the most cases are when they are looking what has happened, especially for some wanted persons or some persons that then made, after leaving the airport, has made some crime, and the criminal police and the state security authorities are trying to identify where he came from, or where he left from the airport, whom he met in the airport building, or who met him on the parking or in the airport. So it is very important for them to understand whole picture. And it is always very annoying to do the camera by camera searches and analysis. And I have been there, I have seen how it worked before, and I have been there and have seen how quickly it works nowadays, actually. So this is the main and major, I may say, the advantage and the use case of analytics.
I would add from my side as well that I think one of the important benefit for Tbilisi Airport, as well as to many of our other partners, is that we in Avigilon introduce new features, new analytics, which is part of a free maintenance agreements that we have. So they get it for free. So if we talk about today's reality, we all live in a COVID reality. Our partners had the benefit of getting new functionality, like tracking of whether people cover their face with a mask. And that was free analytics available for all of our partners, because we in Avigilon, not only we want to give benefits to our partners, but we are trying to be responsible to the society and provide features which help us all be safe and healthy in these difficult times.
Absolutely. I was going to say, we can't go this long without mentioning COVID. So that was actually going to be my next question, Pavel. So thanks for jumping ahead with that one. But I do have another question for you, Pavel. What were the most challenging use cases at the Georgian international airports that you and your team actually encountered whilst working on these projects?
You know, I am very happy to have a very good, reliable partner in Georgia who covers most of the troubles and problems. But in Tbilisi, same like in many other airports, I think one of the big challenges was what approach should we go with? This is something George has mentioned in his presentation. Especially again now, when we talk about airports, COVID times, not so many flights, which means that revenue for the airports go down, investment goes down compared to what it used to be. Our job is to still identify what are the key needs of a partner, of the end user, of the airport, and to solve this in the efficient way, but really solve it. We don't want just to install the cameras. And this is the biggest challenge, because many of the system integrators, they would just come and say, hey, we'll install camera here and there, and that's all you need to qualify. Because again, in my region, there are not so many requirements when it comes to video. It's more or less, well, video has to be there. What should it cover? What kind of details should be there? This is all missing. So we were very happy to have a customer like Tbilisi Airport, where guys were able to take responsibility and to go and prove to their management, to the owners of the airport, and say, hey, this is safety, this is security. It's important to invest. We are not investing just to invest. We are actually solving these problems. So that was our biggest challenge, I guess, to find this efficient cooperation. And I think we did it just great.
And what solutions from the portfolio do you think played a key role in securing these projects?
Well, I think that still video is probably, from all of our portfolio, Vigilon portfolio, is still the key product which helps us achieve success in our projects. But I think again that we live in a very modern world. It's good to have nice picture, but it's not about nice picture anymore. It's actually about the software that stands behind. It's about software which installed in camera, in your server, in your on your workstation. So it was software that helps us, and thanks to the fact that we actually design cameras ourselves, manufacture cameras ourselves, design network video recorders, design control center software, design clients. We have everything in-house in one place that helps us to get the best result, rather than trying to integrate a number of third-party products and make them work to the best effect.
I may add to Pavel's correct note about not to integrate something else, let's say, and I will say that the major requirement, major technical requirement for these projects from the customer was to provide cameras, recording servers, and the software from one vendor. And it was, once again, it's a major requirement. So we've been happy and lucky enough to have this kind of partner like Vigilon that is delivering everything, whole solution, including workstations, including all of the pieces of the software that is needed for online monitoring, for video wall control, for let's say collaborative works between several authorities, and everything of this is already in the ACC software. And the fact that Vigilon was able to deliver all the pieces of the components of the system, because even all types of cameras should be from one vendor, and it was really a big luck and happiness, let's say, to have this kind of partner. giving this possibility.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, George. We do have time for just one audience question, I think, before we have to wrap up. But that question is, can the system be integrated into existing camera networks, or are new cameras and recorders actually required?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is, majority of the airports we work with, we come and there is already something installed there. So we can add on to existing system. We can actually make, or we can give additional intelligence to your existing cameras. In addition to installing our cameras, we have special devices which provide analytics for the existing solutions that you have. And this is very, very common. Moreover, I don't know if this is just in my region or you see it in your airports as well, but we come to the airport and then police has their own system for video and they don't let anyone else to use it. Border control have their own video system and they don't let anyone touch it. Airport operations have their own system and they don't let anyone touch it. So it's often, would be a couple of systems installed in one airport, and we are able to integrate as much as you let us integrate. And I just want to use an opportunity to say that, honestly, there are a lot of people who can give very good presentations, much better than me and George, even though I love George so much, but I'm pretty sure there will be one or two people who can do a better job than he presented. What we would suggest and recommend, if you have a slightest interest or need for video analytics in your airport, please do contact someone from Avigilon, because our approach is not to show demos, clips and stuff like this. We would come to your site with actual cameras and do the actual setup. You will try and you will see exactly what you're going to get, not in Tbilisi airport, but in your airport. And it's going to be amazing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Pavel. Yeah, I guess it's a case of you got to see it to believe it. So yeah, I think many people that
we sell video. We sell video. This is the only way to do it. You've got to see it before you believe it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Pavel and George. Fantastic presentation. And I mean, as Pavel said, there's someone around to answer any questions that you have in the networking room, or either on the sponsors and exhibitors area as well. Next up, we have a product demo on runway condition assessment cameras. And after that, we have a panel session on optimizing airside operational efficiency, which starts in about half an hour's time at 4 p.m. UK time. Please join me in saying a massive thank you to Pavel and George, and we hope to see you in the next session.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.